Hey, folks, I wanted to address something that shows up in my comments and in other creators' comment sections as well. A lot of times when people talk about like political movements, like revolution or whatever it may be, people are you always see this comment of, "Well, what are we supposed to do? Like, when are we going to start? What is it?" And I wanted to address that because I think that it's very important that people understand. There are people like me that take to the internet and we just talk about it, and a lot of people tend to think that talk is cheap. Right now, that's not true at all. Right now, we know that the government is actively looking at people, maybe not like me because I'm a relatively small creator, but people that do speak out, and they're trying to silence them. They're trying to punish them. They're trying, like, we know this is a real thing. There's lists that we're aware of. And so I think that, first of all, talk is not cheap. Talk is very important. The way that we encourage people to keep going is, I believe, very important. Now, I'm not saying that I'm necessarily important. Fuck, nobody cares what I say. But I think that in general, the kind of movements are started with, rhetoric of some sort, and somebody has to spread that rhetoric. Now, that being said, America is a massive landmass. Like, right, it's fucking huge. And it takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to get anywhere. And the reality is that even if you get on a plane and you're flying from, like, I live in Florida, so if I'm flying from Orlando to LA, that's a 6.5 hour flight, depending. And like that's a long period of time. Now, the reason I mention this is because it is nigh impossible to have a, entire country movement. It really, it just doesn't work in America. And I think that people need to understand that. I see people all the time make comparisons to other countries. People are like, well, they do this in Ukraine, they do this in France, they do this in Europe, they're doing this in these other countries, and everybody's not taking to the streets. And in those other countries where I mean, it's basically the size of one of our states. It's not even the size of Texas in some cases. They're them getting out and getting in the streets is much, 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 much more effective. It is impossible to overstate just how ineffective everybody. If everybody in fucking Portland went outside, which has happened, that's great. But the people in fucking Salt Lake City, Utah, don't feel that. They don't see it. It doesn't affect them at all. It's so far away, and they're relatively close on the map. I mean, if you look at a map, depending upon the map you look at, they're only that far apart, right? So, like, they are relatively close. If somebody in Phoenix, Arizona gets together a million, 2 million people and they take to the streets, people in fucking uh, Miami, Florida don't feel that at all. They don't know about it. I mean, unless it's on social media or the media covers it, like they has no effect on them whatsoever. And so when people talk about like getting out and doing stuff, it is really important that you don't sit by and just wait for something on a national level to tell you to move, because that's never going to come. It has to start locally. It has to start where you are. And sometimes you're the one that's going to start it, but you really shouldn't be looking at people on, social media to tell you when to jump. You're where you are. If you're in fucking Oklahoma City, then you go look around Oklahoma City and try to find people there to start to move, start to organize, start to do something. That's the only way that it works. That's what grassroots literally means, is that you go to these little towns and cities and wherever you happen to be, and you try to rally people as much as you possibly can, because it's just too big. It's just too big. And believe it or not, you can look at the way the systems in our country work and understand that we do keep ourselves isolated, especially now, in the age of the internet. We isolate ourselves. I know two of my neighbors. There are people all over my neighborhood. I have a, pretty nice neighborhood, not in terms of money wise, but the people here are very nice people. A lot of them are Trumpers, but for the most part, they walk around, when they're going for their evening walks and stuff. Everybody says hi, very cordial, but I don't know any of their names. I don't know any of their names. And honestly, I'll drive by some of them and I'll see them out in their fucking yard and I'll be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not talking to that guy. Like, and I know that I'm not the only one that does that. We are no longer engaged in our communities the way that, well, our democracy was designed for us to be. We have checked out of it. And because we check out of it, at least most of us do, we are no longer feel the effect of community. We don't have to go to the local, grocery that's owned by the family that's had it for 50 years, because they've been put out of business by a Walmart. And that Walmart is not a community center. It's not a place that cares about the community. It's a place that's just there to absorb as much money as they possibly can. We don't go do community activities as much where we talk to our neighbors and we talk to everybody else. And if we do, then it's usually tied to either a church function or a school function. We don't get together as community to talk about things anymore. And that's, if you think about the way that our democracy was designed, that's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to stay informed. We were supposed to stay engaged. That's what a representative democracy is supposed to be about, is caring about what the fuck happens. And we don't care on a local level. And as long as that's the truth, and we have the ability to use our phones or whatever device to feel like we're somehow engaged by talking about it, or, it shows up on our feed and we're like, oh, there's an emotional feeling that I'm getting from this. Oh, okay, well, I put my phone down and I've felt something, so that's all I need. Like, this is something that's really happening. This is our disengagement in actual reality, because we have a proxy here on social media. The effects of that are being seen right now, and it's only going to get worse unless we have something that pulls us back. A movement, a revolution, something that changes this country has to take place at your level, where you are. I can't make it happen for you, and neither can any other major creator. Like, my little ass certainly can't, but like the people that have millions of followers, they can't make it happen in your area. The No Kings protest people can't make it happen in your area. They can say, we're going to do this, and then local organizers get together with them. But if you decided that you wanted to go out and say, go to a church group or go to wherever and say, hey, we should organize. We should start talking about this issue. We should start talking about these things. I've got a suburb of Orlando called Altamont Springs right now that I'm seeing videos of people that are getting together to go to a city council meeting for flock cameras. And this is fucking wonderful, but I don't live there, and the city council, there's no reason for them to listen to me. So I might go still just to listen, but my voice doesn't matter as much there. Now, in the city that I live in, maybe we could do that. There's not as many of those cameras there, so it doesn't really matter as much, but maybe I could do something like that. These are the kind of things that you start to look into. These are the kind of things that you have to get involved in your community. That's the only answer. And I know that some people are like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Like, that's just should straight up be like, that's off the table. So if we can't do something where I can, make a video or make a phone call, then I'm not going to do it, because I'm not leaving my fucking house for this. I get it. I understand that's where a lot of people are, but unfortunately that means that, it's kind of a shit in, shit out situation at that point in time. Like, if we're not going to put in the effort to actually organize at the local level, and we're just waiting for somebody at the national level to all of a sudden pick up some sort of like superhero cape and start leading people, that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. The people that do that, right now, the only people that have a superhero cape also wear red hats, and they're leading people. They're the fucking Homelander. If you watch The Boys, they're the Homelander of the fucking world. Those are the people that are in charge right now. And so we have to be the boys, as dirty as that may be. That's what we have to do. We have to start to kind of rally and get people together and grassroots the shit out of this. It has to happen at the local level. And so, to answer the questions that would inevitably show up on everybody's comment section, if you want change, you have to be that change. If you want something to be different, you have to be that difference. You have to act on it. You have to do it. It's not going to be somebody else. And yeah, that means you're going to be, alone sometimes. That means you have to build it over time. And I know that that's daunting, and I know that there's people out there that can't do it. But I promise you, you can do something. You can do something. You can find ways to get involved with other people. If you're an older person, if you're somebody that's, bedridden or whatever it may be, then talk to younger people and say, hey, let's organize, let's energize people, let's get together, let's try to make this shit happen. You have to do it at the local level. You have to do it with family members and friends and things like that. Start with them and build up, and then you'll start to see change. I call this page the Pebble in a Pond for a reason, because it's the small things that you do right where you are right now that create ripples in this world. And we have to understand that concept if we actually want to change anything, because nothing is going to happen at a massive national level in this country. Please take care of yourself. Take care of others. I'll talk to you soon.